What's up, everybody? It's your girl Barbie J here with the recap and review of Tyler Perry's comedy drama, The Oval, Season 6, Episode 16, Ironclad. And I gotta tell you, this episode was actually entertaining to me and interesting to me. I definitely like this episode better than the ones the previous weeks. I'll be honest, this one held my attention. The other ones were so stupid, even though this one was kind of stupid too, but I enjoyed it. I guess I enjoyed seeing what happened to Victoria and Hunter and Donald. You know what I mean? So before we get started, if you are new here or if you are returning here and have not subscribed to this channel as of yet, please take a moment right now and hit that subscribe button. Then hit the notification bell and select all. It'll let you know every time I upload any new content or whenever I go live. Then I ask that you hit that like button, which is the thumbs up button, write a comment and join the conversation. Give us your 2 cents about what you think is going on in the episode. And then share this video because sharing is caring. And you want to help this sister reach her goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I know it's a very challenging request that I'm asking, but if you can help me, I'd appreciate it. Love you guys and have a happy holiday season going forward. Now, this episode starts off with the shooting and everything up in the White House, and these strike team grabs Hunter and Jason and Priscilla and Agent Isaac and have them cuffed and stuff and on their knees on the floor or something like that. Then the strike team says, oh wait, she's not part of it. Talking about Priscilla, so they uncuffed her. And then she gets up and stands behind the guy who seems to be in charge of the strike team. So then it switches to downstairs and you see a group of them coming like, what was that? What's all that noise? And it's like Max and Bobby and Alonzo and Donald and all of these people and Sam. And they're like, what's going on? And Victoria's looking up there saying, because she was on the staircase, so she must have ran down the stairs. And they're like, they sent in the strike team. And Sam's like, oh, who gave the goddamn orders? And then here comes Eli. I gave the goddamn orders. And he's like, oh. And it just was a standoff all of a sudden. This part was so good because everybody thought they was getting up in Eli's face and Eli was shutting them down. So he had them put Hunter, they put Donald on the spot and said, whose side are you on? And then Donald's like, I'm on your side, sir. And then Hunter was like, you little weasel, you little slime ball. He called them all kind of names, you know. So the strike team asked Eli where to take Hunter, and Donald was about to tell him something. He said, no, in the bunker. Eli said, put him in the bunker. They was like, what? And he was like, you can't do that. And Victoria's like, wait till my father. And he's like, I'm tired of you and your father's stuff, And she wanted to speak to him privately, and when Eli wouldn't speak to her privately, that's when he said she need to go in the bunker too. And then Donald was like, can I speak to you privately? He said, I don't know about privately. He said, but you know what? Let's go in the Oval Office. But before they said that, they sent Jason to the Oval Office. They were like, why is Jason going to the Oval Office? Because I want to talk to him. And Victoria's like, you don't need to talk to him. He said, yes, I do. And Jason and both Hunter was like, don't touch me. They didn't want Victoria, had nothing to do with them. So they all went into the Oval Office after after Hunter and Victoria was taken to the bunker. They was pissed, talking about they ain't gonna do it. And he said, go ahead, fight so they can make you go down. And it was just too funny. That whole scene was funny to me. Oh, and let me not forget, Victoria thought she was playing her card, and because Eli, and she started calling him Elijah by his full name, who do you think you are? And he said out his full government name and that he was the president of the United States, and they didn't want to hear it. And he told her and reminded her that she is no longer the first lady, so she need to stand down. And you can see Priscilla standing in the back, smiling and smirking, trying not to laugh out loud. And then you see Simone had a small little smile, but not much, you know what I mean? But she was standing by her man, and they had those two agents take Victoria downstairs too. She was pissed. I was sitting here laughing because I thought the thing was hilarious. I really did. So now when they get in the Oval Office, Donald don't want to talk in front of everybody because he said private. And Eli was like, what, we going to talk about your crimes between you and Kyle? He said, matter of fact, Sam and Max, get Kyle's gun. And Kyle pulled out his gun, and Bobby came over there too, and all three of them are pointing guns at Kyle. And Kyle takes it out, and then Sam said, the one in your boot too. Oh, you wouldn't know about that one, huh? And then Bobby said, and the knife. He said, y'all ain't gonna let me have no toys, huh? Whatever. And they had them two walked out. That's when he actually called Bobby's name. Eli called Bobby's name and said, Bobby, Max, can you escort Donald and Kyle down to the bunker? They said he should be down there with Agent Kane, should already be down there as well. I said, oh my God, all of them up in the daggone bunker. Kareem's still down there with his cousin somewhere, right? I know there's different bunkers, but I think the vice president has a bunker and then the president has a bunker. If I'm wrong or right, I'm not sure. Put it down in the comment section. Let me know. So I was getting a kick out of all of this going down. But here's the strange part. Okay. Well, wait. Let me get to everybody. He's looking. Jason don't want to tell the truth that he killed Jean. He's saying his parents are horrible, but he doesn't trust anybody. And now he don't want to testify against his parents, but he don't want them to send him in the bunker because his parents would kill him. And so they's like, well, you don't want to talk and tell the truth, then too bad for it. Sam was trying to get him to tell the truth. He's like, you lied to me, Sam. He said, you're lying to us. Tell us the truth. Eli said there's a new administration and we're trying to get everything clean and straight and run it the right way. Jason didn't want to do it. Took him down to the bunker. He said, you're going to pay for this. He even offered Jason to go into a mental facility because he mental, y'all. We all know Jason. He done killed his grandma too. He done killed that stripper or hooker that his father had. He's something wrong with him. And I'm sure he killed a whole lot more people than that and some animals too. Anyway. Once he's out, then who's left? Alan. And Alan, oh no, he had Sam help with Jason to go downstairs to the bunker because it didn't look like Alonzo could handle him by himself. So now it's the three women in there and Alan. And then he tells Alan that he needs an interim chief of staff. Could he handle the position? He'd been watching him and stuff. And he's like, okay, cool, fine. Thank you, sir. He said, clean out Donald's office. It's yours now. I said, meanwhile, he got a body on him. Alan, Donald gonna play it and remind him about that. But what happened was while they were in there, Lily came in there. That's what I'm saying, the three ladies, y'all. Lily came in there with this bright yellow outfit on and said, oh, I see things are going well. And, he's like, hello. And Simone is like, you know her? And he's like, yeah. How? How do you know her? Now you playing the jealous wife. Stop it, Simone. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Okay. Because this even gets better with Simone when I get to that. And so he said, we'll talk about that later, Eli said. So he said, you want to tell all the information that you have, Lily? And here come Donald pulling out his phone, like tapping it like I got your family. I just make a phone call and they're going to kill your family. But then, you know what? Elijah said, we'll let the DOJ take care of it. The DOJ, Department of Justice, y'all. So he was like, yeah. So Lily's like, okay, whatever. So when everybody's out and it's just the three ladies left, Eli asked for privacy with just Priscilla. So Simone is like, why? What? What's going on between you two? I was like, oh, stop with the jealousy, Simone. See, what Simone's having a problem with, she thought she had Priscilla in check when she was trying to check her about messing with Bobby, like Bobby's her man. But I'm sorry, Simone, Bobby ain't nobody's man. Bobby do what Bobby wants. And Simone, you should really know that by now. But then she was forcing him to have sex, kind of, but he could have turned her down just like he turned her down this last time. We know now that Bobby could have turned her down. So Lily says, come on, Simone, let's go down and have some tea or something like that. Give them a minute. And they went to the kitchen. All of a sudden, you see they're in the Oval and Priscilla and Eli are like giggling and they're hugging each other like, oh my God, we did it, congratulations. Oh, that strike team was wonderful. They did this great, this was wonderful. And she's like, I can't believe it. And they're so happy. And she said, you got them, congratulations. And Eli looked at her and said, I wish I got you. Priscilla looked, it was like, excuse you? Oh no, she said, excuse me. She was like, And he said, you didn't feel anything? Us working in private all these months, getting all this stuff done. You didn't feel any kind of stress? She said, no, I'm sorry. And he was like, oh, come on, she slept with Bobby. She said, well, you slept with Victoria. He said, well, that was business. She said, well, who says I didn't sleep with Bobby? And he's like, what is it with this guy? I should fire him. She said, no, because then you'd be firing the last person, somebody who you know you can trust, And he's like, you right about that. So he's jealous about that. But come on, y'all. You sitting there trusting Sam, but now you want to try to get with his wife, sleep with his wife. He's still married to Priscilla. So that makes you a dirty dog, Eli. Come on now. How you trusting a man? You know the man is having a problem with his wife sleeping with Bobby. And then you gonna sit there and think you and her should get together? Make it make sense, y'all. There I go with that saying, make it make sense. These writers, I don't know how they went off track on that. But they had Eli just dismissed the whole thing. You think Sam ain't gonna be upset about that? Anywho, Priscilla shut him down, and she said that he's going to have to explain to the press about the broken glass and stuff up there and everything. That's why it's a good thing that he has Constance Waters coming. And he said, you spoke to her? She said, yeah, she'll be here today. So I'm assuming that Constance Waters is maybe the PR person or something like that, some type of PR or attorney or whatever that's going to help them work this into the news. And the person who's playing her is the lady Mallory from Beauty in Black. Remember, she was Mallory in Beauty in Black. So now she's playing this person, Constance Waters, in the Oval. I love it how Tyler Perry reuses his people. He give them work. If you good enough, he'll keep you in other movies of his and other shows of his. And that's a blessing. So now we in the kitchen, and they making coffee, I think. I said tea earlier, but I think it was coffee they were getting. And it's Lily and Simone. And Simone is just so upset about it and all this stuff. And Lily breaks it down and tells her everything that was going on, how they had all been working together. She realized that Simone didn't know. And she said, I was helping too. She said, yeah, you were helping to a point until he couldn't trust you anymore. She's like, what? Yeah, because you were sleeping with Bobby. I never slept with Bobby. She said, see, and because you keep lying about it is why we couldn't trust you. Because you keep lying about, come on, she said, we're all adults, we're grown. Just admit it. You slept with him. I said, Lily called her, pulled her card. And Simone was trying to act all reserved and all of this stuff. We all knew. They all knew all the time and listened to her lie and lie and lie. She ain't even good at that. Anyway, so that's why I'm like, why is she trying to be jealous when she's sleeping around? Anywho. After they got that all squared out, Priscilla came in there, and Priscilla's like, hello, ladies. And Lily speaks, but Simone doesn't. She's like, Simone, hello. She said, oh, she's not speaking. She can't get over what happened. She's trying to process this, that, and that. I was like, boy, please. Simone need to stop with all the theatrics. She had a problem with Eli putting Alan in charge. And he's kind of young. He's not experienced. She just was being difficult. So anyway, then after that little scene was over, you see Priscilla leaving and she runs into Richard. Richard being difficult. Here she is excited, happy about stuff. And she's like, Richard, you're killing my high. Oh, you sure it's over? It can't be over like that. What about this? What about that? She was like, oh, stop, please. Then she's like, please, we just need you to get up there and clean and be happy that the administration is gone. We are free. Everything is great. And that they were all celebrating that they took them down. They couldn't believe they took them down. And Eli couldn't do it without the help of Priscilla, who had a camera. She was wearing a camera or some type of microphone camera on her somewhere, I guess in a necklace. And Lily, with Lily's help, whatever she did. So that's how it happened. And Simone was being a killjoy, if you ask me. She was getting on my nerve. Oh, but something I forgot to tell y'all earlier in the hallway when they were in that all meeting in that lobby or whatever vestibule. When Sam had said who gave the orders, he said, Priscilla's up there. He said, I'm aware of that. He said, so you just don't care? He said, relax. He told him to relax. And when Eli wanted to go upstairs to see how things were going, they were like, we can't let you go up there, sir. And Bobby put his hands on him and stopped him and said, sir, you can't. He said, don't touch me. Don't touch me. He said, I don't want to hear nothing from you, Bobby. And he didn't want Bobby to touch him. And Bobby's like, Max, like, talk to him. And so Max and Sam went up there. And Eli stayed down there. And they came down the stairs with Priscilla and Hunter, was it? I didn't, I saw Hunter and Jason, but I don't remember seeing Agent Isaac coming down the steps, but he must have been with them as well. Anywho, but then they didn't say what to do with Agent Isaac. I don't remember them saying put him in the bunker as well. So what happened to him? That's a good question. If anyone remembers that scene, put it down in the comment section. Anyway, then I forgot to tell y'all that before Alan got to the White House, Dale and Sharon had gone to his apartment. And he's like, who's this? He said, Dale and Sharon, she's my friend or something like that. So Sharon says hi or something like that. And then he's like, well, don't be telling her nothing about me and none of my business. He's like, fine, whatever. So Alan leaves to go to work. They pull out all the money and start trying to count it. Alan comes back and he's like, what the F? Where y'all get all this money from? I need y'all and all that money. Get the F out of my house. I want no drama. He don't want no mess around him. He's like, I can't do this. No. And so then, Dale is like, relax, dude, relax. Aren't you going to work? All this stuff. He said, look, I'll drive you to work. I'm going to drive you to work. Sharon, you stay here, lock the door. I'll call you when I'm on my way back. La, 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 la. So they said it was Sharon's money, that she a stripper. Alan wasn't trying to hear it, but he was like, whatever. Y'all just better not cause no problem. She said, it's my money. She said, I just want to get it situated and then I'm going to leave. I promise. And he's like, yeah, okay. So as they going out the door, she going to ask Dale to pick her up some clothes to wear. I said, girl, you sending Dale clothing shopping for you? She said, just anything. I need to change out of these clothes. And I'm like, girl, what money Dale got to go shopping? Well, maybe he got some of that money in his pocket. Who knows? Anywho, and another scene I forgot to talk about is when Priscilla was in the hallway with Richard, she got a call from prison. It was a collect call from Nancy. And Nancy's on there. Did you talk to Richard? You got somebody coming? I can't stay in here long. Did you talk to Sam? She's like, yeah, I talked to them. I talked to them. They don't care. Stop. They just going to railroad me like this. And she said, look, I got an attorney coming. We're going to come and see you today. I promise. She said, well, can you stay on the phone and talk with me a little bit longer? She said, no, I'm at work. We got stuff going on here. So she's like, okay, fine. And so she hung up. And then the episode ended with Sharon and they're counting money and somebody just comes inside the door where she supposedly had it locked. She should have heard somebody picking a lock. And they get inside, close the door, knock on it, and she turns around and says, who is it? First of all, you ain't supposed to say who is it in somebody else's damn house. You keep your mouth shut and hide. You should be hiding that money. You know what I mean? And they come in there, they start grabbing her and throwing her around, and she's fighting this guy off, and I don't know who it is, but he got a mask on, so obviously he's been following her and Dale all this time, and they happen to know just which apartment they're in, I guess. Anyhow, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. But that part with Simone, she was really working my nerves. You know what I mean? She's like, oh, Priscilla, I thought we were friends. And Priscilla's like, what? We are, but I had to vet you first. This is over. We took them down. You should be happy. No, I got to go talk to Eli. Yeah, go talk to your husband. But they keep mentioning something about a video. Victoria told Simone she had a video. She said send it to her. And then Priscilla mentioned the video to Eli. And Eli doesn't seem to know that there's a sex video about him as well. But then there was one thing that Lily said that I need y'all to help me with. She said something to Priscilla about you always kept saying about we had to have patience and stuff. And she said, you said that ever since I called you from that hotel. When did Lily call Priscilla from a hotel? If anybody knows, please put that down in the comment section. So that's all I have to say about this. I thought it was an exciting episode. I enjoyed this episode. I really did. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comment section, and I will see you all in the next video. It's your girl, Barbie J, saying please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Peace.